I knew Keyshawn and Tyler were together. I didn't know Sebastian was there.
And you're not just trying to distance yourself, right? From
Distance myself from what?
Right. Well, you didn't want anyone to know that you were communicating with them because you didn't want to get in trouble.
Get in trouble for what?
Well, you could have been in trouble for setting this whole thing up and setting this in motion. Weren't you concerned?
Setting what up? Your client shot 84 rounds. There was no shots back. What did I set up?
Well, you sent somebody to go shoot him, didn't you?
Did he get shot?
You sent somebody to shoot him, did you not?
Did he get shot?
All right, Ms. Jones, you had to answer the questions, not ask them. All right, next question.
This is wild. What? She said, she said, you sent somebody over there to shoot him. She gonna say, did he get shot? This is the modern black woman, man. I'm trying to tell you this, that modern software is so corrupted.
Today's modern mercenary woman loved the word narcissist. If I ever seen one, I'm looking at one up on that stand.
All right, it's the brother, I believe his name is Travis Rudolph, and he's an ex-NFL player.
Oh.
And, okay, so this brother found himself dating some bonquisha type woman, which, brothers, here we go. Y'all know how we rock, and we advocates, and we teach y'all, you know, which kind of women to steer clear from. And here he found himself with a bonquisha, and they sort of separated for a while. Then I guess they got back together, and she got into his phone. He left his phone in the house. Long story short, she picked up the phone, knew his password, went in, seen some things she didn't like. He come back in the house. She's upset, and then things proceed. And then next thing you know, she goes and tells her brothers, which we say, you know, don't come to me with that. Call the police. Why wouldn't you call the police? She goes and tells her brothers to, you know, go over there and shoot something up, allegedly. So, and we'll take it from there. So we'll pull up a video. That's sort of the net of it.
Surveillance video that they shows that Travis Rudolph was the aggressor, that he was shooting at 4 men who came apparently to shoot up his house. Although one of those men testified today saying that just meant they were there for a fist fight.
So there you go. The text says they showed up 4 deep, 4 brothers. All right, we'll get into it. They show up to this man's door. And everybody now, after the fact, because they know he had something in the house, now everybody talking about we was just there to fight. He started tripping. So now this brother is on trial. He the only one on trial for defending himself.
Of course, because this is sick, man. Here we go, ladies. Come on, we touch on this. All men ain't kings, and all women ain't queens. How many men have lost their life over a woman, over a woman's emotions, over madness? We know way too well. It's madness. This is sick. You got a young brother going to he in the NFL. So you know what that means in the black community. He is creating his own ecosystem. He most likely is responsible for at least a dozen other people now, at least financially and all that. And that's all taken away. Just like that. Over an emotional outburst, over emotional damage. And now here we are. You got a young millionaire with the world before him. The world is his oyster. And now here we are. This
is wild. So here we go. We're gonna mine through it. Before we do, shout out to my guy Theo Coop. Theo said, Ninja watching. I'm editing my Travis Rudolph trial now. So yeah, man, like I said, this happened in 2021.
Okay.
Right? It happened in 2021. The trial was going on actively as we speak. His brother's on trial, fight for his life.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, so people are just now starting to talk about it. Like I said, I'm interested to see your video, Theo. We know you're going to cook up. So it's just something, like I said, we going back to live streaming over here. And yeah, this is wild. And like Courtney Love said, why it take 4 of them?
Cowards, Courtney, cowards. I tell you, it's cowardice. You
And then the
show up.
woman, so the girl says, well, I just told my brother. I didn't know he was going to bring all them. And I didn't know he was going to do that. I didn't tell him to do that. I didn't tell him to. So we're going to get into it. But go ahead. Cowardice for sure.
Yeah, some absolute cowardice. For one,
NFL player, he like, this is a football player.
see what I'm saying? If you ask me, there was little to no evidence that the brother, I don't think the brother did that to her. He didn't hear her. There was no combat coming from him. I do believe she most definitely started wailing on him. We ain't gonna act like she didn't. So she was hitting on him, and I do believe there was no evidence of him ever putting a hand on her. With that being said, there was no reason for her brother to even go have a conversation with that man.
Real
You understand? Now, if she showed up, you know what I'm saying, beat down and battered, but nevertheless, as Gavin said, call the police. What are we doing? You know, but then that's different. But no, this woman, she's in her feelings, and she called her brother. Why they show up 4 deep? Courtney, absolute cowardice. And they got what they was looking for. And I know why this brother defending his freedom. I know exactly why. Most likely, he got the busting off that thing, pop, pop, and they start hightailing it the other way. And that's when fellas
like, here we go. Here's what happened. Like I said, they show up to the house. So shout out to Bob. He said, so they came to his house and he defended himself. Yes. So they came to the house after she left. Well, let this play for another second and we'll dive back in real quick.
Prosecutors say Travis Rudolph was the aggressor the night in April 2021. 4 men showed up at his door.
There you go. 4 men showed up. All right. Before they walk to the door, the surveillance camera shows them down. They parked right around the corner and they all went to the trunk. So they popped the trunk. And when they get there, only one of them had a gun because he dropped it apparently. But apparently he said, oh, none of us had a gun but the one guy. But it says they all did. They got guns out the trunk and they walked over to the house. They start knocking on the door. And they're like, who is it? His brother was in there. So his brother, he lived with his brother and his mom. All right. His brother answered the door. What's going on? Next thing you know, one thing led to another. His brother was out there. They punched Travis, got swung on. His brother was getting jumped. Travis went back in the house to get his AR. And so he came back with his AR. And why do we have an AR? There's more to the story. All right, so here we go. Apparently, his father was deleted a few years earlier. So his father got deleted, and that's why you got all these cameras. His mom got spooked, and she put all kinds of surveillance around the house. They start buying all kind of artillery. That's why he got the AR. And they was prepared for this moment because his dad was already deleted years earlier by crazy situation. So
holy, I did not know that. That's nuts. But here we are. These four punks show up to the house. Look at them. Like Gavin said, this on camera. They going to the trunk. I don't care what nobody say. You can try to act tough all you want. If you ain't never smelt this, you can't say what you would do. If you got some artillery, you coming to the door with it. I don't care how bad you think you is. You ain't showing up to the door straight fisticuffs with 4 people on the other end of the door. You just ain't gonna do it. And if you ask me, this brother should not be trying to defend his life because stupid actions get stupid prizes. They showed up 4 deep. One showed up with a tool. You get exactly what you came asking for.
Real talk. So yeah, Theo. Yeah, he told his brother. She told her brother, and he called. Whether they was all hanging out, you're like, well, we about to go over here and do this. You know how it is. We all been young and dumb, but
my man Bob, I couldn't have said it myself, Bob. I'm so tired of that. It's called was it like unnecessary force or something? Yeah, so they saying that if a person show up with a knife, you can't have a hand grenade. I feel like you, Bob, showed this hand grenade right up where the sun don't shine. You understand?
Like I said, he went in the house. His brother's getting jumped. He came back out the house and fired 39 rounds. All right. So here we go. We'll get into it. We're going to mine through this. Here we go.
Golly.
Rudolph shooting 39 rounds as they fled following a fight, showing jurors this surveillance video of bullets flying from Rudolph's semi-automatic rifle as he chased them down the street.
Murder be.
So as they came out the house, real quick, we get back into it. He, like I said, they answered the door. The dudes answered, where's Travis? Him and his brother at the door. They start scuffling. Next thing you know, he's like, it's 4 of y'all. He said, I got something for y'all. He made his way back in the house. He left his brother still out there getting jumped on. He ran in the house real quick, grabbed what he needed to grab, came back out. They seen him coming around the corner with that thing like the Terminator. He came swinging that thing around the corner, and they took off running. Only thing saved them, if y'all ever watched the video, when he first came out the house, he slipped. So he came out, I don't know if he had like some Crocs on or something, and he slipped. All right. And that's what gave them that 1 second for them to get in the car. They was able to run back. And within that's why they always get the smoke. All right. So, and net of it is one of them deleted, the other one in serious condition, 2 of them not scathed.
I tell you what, them two jokers that made it out unscathed, I know they both of them probably had 4 torn hamstrings total. When that big joker came out there, come on, Gav, he came out with that thing and dropped it. And he said, "Oh," and he, golly, they were some track stars that day. I promise you.
You see, they was lighting up out there like the 4th of July. I don't blame you, brother. So
no, at all. It's so many factors for you. Like I believe in Texas when it comes to stuff like this. You come on my land with any kind of threat of any extent, stand there, hold my beer, and take what I give you.
So there you go. Shout out to Danny Nicole. She says the system seems to be run by a flip of the coin. It's a shame. How can he be at home? I agree. How is this man at home? They come to your house. They got firearms. They punching you and your brother. I don't know how I don't know how this brother on trial.
It's because he shot a gun. That's the thing. You know me, I'm big on gun education, gun safety. I'm a novice gun enthusiast. You gotta know the laws.
That's true. You can't chase them, man.
Yeah, you cannot chase, you cannot pursue. It's a lot, it's some areas we all need.
Maybe you could have licked one in the air, scared them off, and then if they would have then drew on. I mean, there's scenarios, but he came out like you said. I gave you the context of what happened to his dad.
There you go.
Right? And so they was already, you know what I mean?
And at the same time, I do believe 2 or more people jumping on one person can fall under the category of attempted deletion. I do believe.
Hey, there you go. So shout out to Courtney Love. She said they lucky all of them didn't get deleted.
Straight like that.
So here we go. We're gonna keep mining. I see you said something earlier, Courtney Love, about the woman. We're gonna touch on that. You gotta listen to this woman on this trial stand. We're gonna dive into the mind of some of these women. It's dark. It's dark. So here we go.
Flying from Rudolph's semi-automatic rifle as he chased them down the street.
Begins when self-defense ends. Now that was a simple sentence said many, many years ago, but that simple sentence perfectly encapsulates why this defendant right there, Travis Rudolph, is sitting in the chair that he's sitting in.
The 4 men arrived when Rudolph's girlfriend contacted them, claiming Rudolph had assaulted her after she found texts from other women on his phone, telling them to come shoot up the house. One of those men, the girlfriend's brother, testifying he was throwing punches at Rudolph during the fistfight, but insisting no one pulled a gun and all 4 ran.
So here you go. I ain't gonna play it all. So that's Rudolph. She went and told her brother he assaulted me, but as y'all can see, she jumped on him. So she jumped on him, went back and told her brother, "Oh, he jumped on me. Go over there and shoot everything up," she said in the text message. There's a text message. She said, "Go and shoot everything up." She said, "I didn't mean shoot him. I mean shoot like the property and the cars and stuff, not no people."
Yeah, that's right. That makes sense. There you go. So if I'm a juror, I'm buying that. I'm like, there you go, Bonquisha, you right. Because bullets got names and coordinates and stuff on them. They're going to hit whatever you want them to hit. There you go, Bonquisha. Good job. And again, this crazy sister being up on that stand don't make none of us look good, because ignorance of the law does not excuse us. We need to understand this system. So she up there talking about, it's so bad. Like, it's almost like the Kendra show. They be sitting up and thinking they land in the plane. Oh no, Mr. Executor, I did not tell my brother, his boys to go over there and harm him. I told them to go harm his belongings.
So there you go. Here we go. Like you said, shout out to Bob. He says, I hope the jury sends him home. And there we go. So we are solution based. What could Travis have done in that moment? Before we get back into this here, in my opinion, like you said, it's heated the moment. Okay, they should have never went out there.
Yeah.
Like you said, y'all got these cameras. You see who was at the door at that point. You should already had. Open the door up. Tell them come inside. Come take one step in here if you want to. But you can't go out there. You can't go out there like that. If they come in,
and it's tough, man, because we can't act like the male ego is not in effect.
That's what I'm trying to say. I can't call it.
Yeah, we can't be hypocrites because ain't no way in heck I'm about to be sitting in my house and like bop, 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 bamming on my door, talking about come out here. Because excuse me, but it's gonna get ignorant. It's gonna get ignorant to some extent. I'm not gonna sit on the other end of the door. I'm not.
It's rough. That's why I say it's rough. And there we go. Like you said, we can't be ignorant though. We gotta, you know what I mean, come up with a real solution.
There you go. So what? So
like you said, we're gonna be right here if this brother got money. And
there
stuff,
you go.
We can't defend ourselves the way he can.
Know the gun laws. Understand these laws before you are responding. There you go. Rule number, 1 through 3. You are responsible for every round that comes out of that firearm. Everyone, you responsible. And that's the thing. So we don't know what these other rounds hit. We don't know all the details. And again, these guys were fleeing and they got evidence of the guys fleeing and him still firing. And that's what that attorney was saying. That deletion, starts after self-defense is gone. So if they fleeing from you, you are no longer defending yourself. And that's where the laws all messed up because trained police officers can't switch it off like that. But they expect civilians to do it. And I don't agree, but we got to understand the laws. That's it. Got to understand the rules to the game.
There you go. Shout out to Rebecca. She said if all of this wouldn't have happened, she probably would have ended back up with him. Had they not, if they would have just went over there and if it was just a fight, they would have smoothed it over. They'd have been back together. But it went south. And
here's another thing. I'm going to go ahead and say this, Rebecca. Yeah, once you start, a woman put their hands on you, might as well call that a relationship. Go ahead and move on. There ain't never no need. Men ain't got no business hitting woman under no circumstance, and neither do women. It's because respect is gone. If this woman start beating you in the back of your head while you're trying to get in the door, she has zero respect for you. She has disdain and hate for you. This only gonna continue to go south. It's over. Whatever y'all done did in y'all situationship, y'all done ruined it. Leave each other be. Ain't no need to force this.
And got into their car. But Rudolph's attorney insisting Rudolph was acting in self-defense.
Isn't that a fact that you guys immediately attacked him, never giving him a chance to do anything?
No.
Rudolph's attorneys say he never began shooting until 2 of the men in the car pointed guns at him through the windows, and he was in fear for his life.
They were vigilantes. They were 4 men who went there to retaliate and kill, just as they were ordered to do.
But Kashawn Jones saying he was in the front seat and did not see Sebastian Jean-Jacques lean out of the back seat and point a gun at Rudolph.
I'm telling you that I didn't see any guns pointed.
Look at him up on that stand looking all zesty. Y'all gotta stop. These is y'all modern day, the modern day thug, if you will. And I remember shout out to my guy, Big Debo. He said these guys y'all watch like these Powers and these shows on HBO, and these guys show up in Givenchy and all the latest Gucci, and they showing up to do deletions. They ain't got on black hoodies and masks no more. They showing up with skinny legs and
skinny. Seriously, and there you go, Courtney Love. We asked why did they show up 4 deep? There you go, because it most likely took 4 of them to make 3/4 of a real masculine man. So they had to show up. Y'all see him up there. If he would have showed, if he'd have showed up to that door by himself, he probably got kicked in his chest. Yeah. So he had to show up with his saucy, sorry ass goons, and we see what happened. Yeah,
it's never a good idea to show up to anybody's house.
Never.
First of all, here we go. So we got to touch on this.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
whether it's your sister, your mama, your cousin, if she call you and say, Nug just jumped on me, let's call the cops.
Yes.
Seriously, we got to be logical. And we all have been there. I've been there. I've told my story before on here.
Yeah.
I don't recommend men doing that. Don't go on your white horse and quit acting like your mama or your sister is an angel. You know she bonquisha.
There you go. That's a good point. Yeah, some of us dance with the devil in these situations, and thankfully God was watching over us, and we live to tell a tale, because we know this usually don't end well. A lot of brothers.
But I would never show up to nobody's house. That's like,
yeah. You don't show up. There you go. I call it elementary, but I believe in treating people the way I want to be treated. That's why I go out into the world, and I'm really most humble and real cool, because I know how I deal with disrespect. So I shan't not disrespect no one else, because I don't want it. I don't want the smoke. And yeah, you showing up to someone's house, that is to go knock on someone's door. You know, like,
he in the NFL, he got too much to lose. He ain't about that life.
There you go. Either that was the thought, or he just really thought he really trying to be tough. Because going knock on somebody's door is one of the toughest things you could. That's very ignorant and thuggish. It's ignorant. You knocking on somebody's castle door, like, come on now, I'm gonna beat your tail on your lawn. You about to disrupt his whole dynamic in his house. You understand? There's things worse than death, if you ask me. And for somebody come knock on your door and drag you out and beat you on your lawn and send you back into your kids and your family, yeah, bad news. So that's what we say. Understand what you're gonna get when you attempt to do this. That man said, I can't let them beat on me in my house. That's a hell of a L.
There we go. Shout out to Ghost Rider. He said that's how my uncle got deleted. She lied and said he hit her, and her brother came with the smoke.
See what I'm saying? We all got too many stories like that.
Yeah, like I said, real talk. I got, like you said, I got personal stories of my own family, my own sisters and stuff showed up, with stuff like this. And
yes,
as a younger man, obviously you with the smoke, but as an older man, I'm like, y'all better call the cops.
Yeah.
What you want me to do? Call the cops.
Got too much to lose, and we know what it is. It's safe to say, our relatives, sisters, they know better than to call and say, hey, such and such did this, and that. Because like you said, we call the cops. We got too much to lose. But back when we was, 18, fresh out of high school, whatever, y'all know, coming from the projects, you ain't got much to lose except for your pride and dignity. And you willing to go do the most ignorant stuff to hold on to that little bit of pride that you got.
So there we go. Shout out to Rebecca. She says, I have 3 brothers, and never have I gotten them tangled up with my mess. I call the police.
There you go.
Like that.
That's how you should love your brothers. Don't send your brothers to the Who Scout. You don't want your brother being what's his name, prison bay. What'd he say? He said the buck stopped here. The buck stopped here, and your ass stopped in the federal penitentiary. Shut up.
Yeah, you don't want your brother, you don't want your brother up in there. And if I could find this meme, here we go. You don't want your brother up in there like this.
I've been here 10 years, and I ain't never getting out. Never.
You know what I mean?
You don't want that. You don't want
that for him.
You don't want to hear the rest of that clip.
So here we go. Shout out to Sweet Life in the house. We up here cooking tonight. We ain't done. We're going to get back into this. It's a lot more left. Here we go.
And 2 of the men did apparently have weapons. Testimony in this case will continue throughout the week. Live in West Palm Beach, Terry Parker, WPBF 25 News.
So there we go. That's part 1. Let's see if we get this next video up. Like we said, this woman on this stand, we're going to start getting into that. Because she got up there, man. I'm telling you. This is wild. Here we go. Take a look at this. Make sure y'all hit the like button.
Isn't it true that you were the first person to become physically violent with Travis and not the other way around?
No.
Not at all?
Something or show me something if I can't recall the exact steps of the moments.
Question. Okay, so you were the first one to become physically violent with Travis, not the other way around. Answer. Correct.
Yes, I said correct.
You remember that?
Yes.
So you smashed his iPhone not out of anger, but because you were hurt?
Yes.
Okay.
And I didn't send my brothers to kill him.
No, you just sent a text to go shoot up his shit, right?
I didn't say shoot him.
You sent a text to go shoot up his shit, right?
Correct.
Let's tell the jury.
Now, there you go. This woman is wild, Mr. Walker. This is wild.
You know what? This is we sometimes we gotta laugh through the pain, man. Forgive me. But I tell you what, hearing her answer them questions like that, it's like me talking to my son Luke. I'm like, Luke, stop trying to control the situation, young man. You caught. You caught. Stop trying to control this situation. You know, the prosecution, they're like, we got video footage that's damn near 4K. We got text messages. We got your phone. We got your nudes. We talk about Bonquisha, and she's sitting there trying to flip-flop words and sprinkle a little bit of bright hoodoo. Well, you see, I didn't say go delete him. I said go delete some of his belongings.
So here we go. Shout out to Theo Coop. He say, I said in my video that I'm about to drop, to pull up to somebody's house or my crib, my castle, to start some ish, you either got to have some big or some small brains. All right. There you go. Maybe it's the Detroit in me. That's how you get, meet Jesus. Exactly.
Okay, straight like that. You either got some of the biggest cojones or you got that small piece-ass brain or a combination of both. You understand? Ain't nothing more dangerous than a dumb brute.
Real talk. So here we go. Also, shout out to Courtney Love. She said, Cap, and look at this woman on this screen. This is an NFL player. I don't know how you end up. This woman ain't even attractive. She mean. She got the helmet on. Brothers, y'all got to do better.
We know the saying. Let's not act like we don't know. What Bonquisha will admit that some of the best in between the sheets action comes from Nug Nug, and we know some of the best cat come from them crazy women. That is.
There you go, everybody. Sweet life. Now she can't recall. Shout out to Danny Nicole. Selective memory. Of course, shout out to Courtney Love. Of course, she don't remember what happened. Real talk. So this is all bad. She up there. Listen how she talking. We're gonna run. So listen how she talking in court. Up there committing what? Perjury? What are we talking?
A little bit of everything.
Yes.
So you smashed his iPhone not out of anger, but because you were hurt?
Yes.
Okay.
And I didn't send my brothers to kill him.
No, you just sent a text to go shoot up his shit, right?
I didn't say shoot him.
You sent a text to go shoot up his shit, right?
Correct.
Let's tell the jury what the shit is.
When you're angry, you say things. I'm sure everyone in this courtroom has said something when you're, I'm trying to speak. If you want me to answer your question, you have to let me answer your question.
Well, if you were responsive to my question, I wouldn't have.
All right. Answer the question, please.
Okay. Can you repeat your question?
Question was shit. What does shit mean in the context of that text?
Anything but him.
There you go. This is in a courtroom of a deletion trial that she started. She up there like, this is an incident on the courtyard in elementary school with who stole the milk box or something.
She told a little bit of truth, She told some half truth, as my man Diddy would say. Shout out to my man Diddy. She said, I didn't smash his iPhone out of anger. I smashed it because I was hurt. That's true. The only reason that's true is because anger is a secondary emotion. All right. First, you must be sad before you are angry. This is how it works. So that's the only truth she sat up there and told. And that she landed that plane on his head. Don't make it no better. So she don't even understand what the jury's in here doing. Me, my goofy, slightly educated self, I did have the luxury of taking business law. So I understand a minute bit. They backing her into a corner and she can't help but be backed into that corner, and they just gonna keep talking, and she either gonna do one or two things: admit the truth that makes her look terrible, or try to do what she tried to do, and that was start arguing. So they say, what does shoot up his ish mean? Well, y'all, I'm pretty sure we all done said some stuff. Come on, they act like this in their relationships. They act like this at work. They act like this then before the judge just about to slam the gavel on their life. This is who they are. She's sitting up trying to argue with prosecutors, with the judge and executioner talking about, oh, we all done stuff. Y'all done did it. That don't work.
Shout out to Courtney Love. She said, how can she put a hit out and be free? This is amazing.
It is. It is amazing. Ain't no telling the details. Like Gavin said, this happened in 2021, and we hear at trial is actively going on as we speak. So we really don't know what type of arrangements. We don't know. We don't know. They probably never, who knows? Who knows?
So here we are. We're going to get back into it here. Make sure y'all hitting the like button. Also, make sure you join in the channel membership over here at Cart for the Horse. Like I said, we're going to be doing much more live streaming over here, building the channel back up from the ashes. And yeah, join the channel membership. Don't hesitate to become some of our first few members back. We had a bunch before it got shut down. There we are.
Before we moved all our Kendrick content. But y'all know the game, my basement. Baby, here go that collection plate. We back up. Hit that super chat. Hit that cash app. Join the membership. We back, baby. Spreading love and a little bit of hood knowledge. You're welcome.
There we go.
Okay, so it could have been his brother.
No,
It could have been the house.
nothing violent toward a person.
It could have been his mother's house, right?
I was upset and my adrenaline was running and I said something that I didn't mean. That's the bottom line of that. I didn't mean for my brothers to do any of that. That's why when my brother left the house, he did not have a firearm on him. People say things when they're upset that they don't mean all the time. But since the situation has happened, it obviously blew up 20 times more. But I didn't necessarily mean for anything to happen to Travis, his family, his house, or anything. It was like my second home. I would not want anything to happen there.
All right. And he never raised a hand and touched you, did he not?
Yeah, he was raising his hand the whole time, like grabbing me.
There we go. He was raising his hand.
He was raising his hand the whole time.
Trying to stop you from bumping him upside his head. He was protecting his.
He had his hands up the whole time, Your Honor, stopping straights and hooks and lefts and uppercuts. His hands was all up. You should have seen it. Holy cow. She already has admitted to instigating the combat. Now the attorney like, he never hit you once, did he? She like, he never said he never raises. He never raised. See that?
Actively, she has gotten one man deleted. There's another man on trial for deletion. Another man critically hit. A lot of trauma, and she up here playing and joking. And she the root of it all. And she probably gonna be the one to walk away scot-free.
There you go. I thought I was the only one. Like, do it seem like she halfway think this is light? This is a light situation? Like she's using this hoodoo. The attorney using the wrong. She said, did he ever raise his hand to hit you? And she said, oh, he raised his hand. I'm gonna leave the hit out. But yeah, he was raising his hand, Your Honor. He kept raising his hands. You see him.
Here we go. Shout out to my guy in the building. Okay, we see you, big dog.
PC 76.
How you feeling, brother? He said, take accountability and learn from this young lady.
That's all.
She gonna get away with this and become more emboldened.
Yeah. I don't know. She sent a text, and her text, set off a series of events. I think my man Trump was on trial for similar accusations, huh?
Yeah,
I don't know. I hope not.
Shout
hope
out
this
to my
brother
guy
get
G
out.
Honda. He says we gotta be conscious of all associations, guys.
Yes,
So
100%. Me and Gav talked about this. I believe we covered it in one of our other videos. Yeah, anybody you associated with. Yeah, because I tell you what, any of my associates, none of my friends would dare do anything crazy. But any of my associates wind up in my car, you drop something, and we get pulled over, mother sucker. I'm like Charleston White. I'm gonna say that's this Negroes, and I really don't even like him for real. Fuck what you heard.
you know what I'm saying?
No gang, I ain't no thug. All right.
So here we go. We're gonna finish mining through this. This is the last little bit of this woman on this stand. Make sure y'all hitting the like button.
I knew Keyshawn and Tyler were together. I didn't know Sebastian was there.
And you're not just trying to distance yourself, right? From
Distance myself from what?
Well, you didn't want anyone to know that you were communicating with them because you didn't want to get in trouble.
Get in
didn't
trouble
want-
for what?
Well, you could have been in trouble for setting this whole thing up and setting this in motion. Weren't you concerned?
Setting what up? Your client shot 84 rounds. There was no shots back. What did I set up?
Well, you sent somebody to go shoot him, didn't you?
Did he get shot?
You sent somebody to shoot him, did you not?
Did he get shot?
All right, Ms. Jones, you had to answer the questions, not ask them. All right, next question.
This is wild. What? She said, she said, you sent somebody over there to shoot him. She gonna say, did he get shot? This is the modern black woman, man. I'm trying to tell you this, that modern software is so corrupted.
I dare. Shit. Oh my goodness. Today's modern mercenary woman loved the word narcissist. If I ever seen one, I'm looking at one up on that stand. 2 people were deleted off of her words. And she gonna sit there and say, but did he get shot though? Did he get deleted though? Yeah, I know what I text. I know what they went over there to do. I know what they showed up with. I know they beat on this brother. I know 4 people showed up to jump on one and end up being 4 on 2. I know that. All right. But did he get deleted though? So stop. That's a damn narcissist. She don't care about nobody but herself. She up there acting like she's so emboldened, and I think someone said in the chat, because she probably ain't up on charges as of yet. I don't see how not. But there you go. She might not be up on charges, but she can actually sit up there and talk her way into charges. If the prosecution see, they're like, wait a minute. They're like, well, or the defense. Oh, that's the thing. Is she's part of the defense or the prosecution? Who's who?
Who are you speaking on?
So the football player, he is being prosecuted.
Yes. She up there just as a witness or whatever. She been called out. She been subpoenaed. Yes, he on defense. He on a deletion trial. He fighting for his life.
Holy cow.
Yeah, nobody else is being charged with him. All the other survivors and stuff, people on stand, are all testifying against him.
So she like, listen here, Bonquisha up on that stand. She like, can we hurry up? I'm doing Miami via Spirit flight here in 2.5 hours. Can we hurry this up?
We got to do better, brother. Shout out to Theo Coop. We got to do better. Got to choose better. All that, man. Because who knows?
Yeah.
She might stand up and have some type of BBL going on or something. Come on, man. Never trust a big butt and smile, man.
There you go.
Come on now. Man, come on.
I tell you what, we can't take accountability off of the football player either, and we talk about this. At the end of the day, ultimately, it don't matter what happened. The man is ultimately responsible for whatever happens. There's no way around that. Can't take accountability off of him because he chose, for whatever reason, to deal with this woman. She is who she is, and she always was this. I would have to believe. We can't sit here and be hypocrites and say, Bonquisha didn't know Nug Nug was a Nug Nug, and not say that Nug Nug didn't know Bonquisha was Bonquisha. They know who they dealing with.
Straight like that. So here we go. As I can see in the chat, we got a new channel member. Shout out to Danny Nicole for joining the channel membership. Like we said, don't hesitate to become a channel member. The link's in the chat. It's also in the join button as you see down at the bottom of the screen if you're watching on your phone. If you have an Apple device, you might have to copy and paste the link. But we appreciate it, Dane Nicole, for coming through. Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, Danny.
And here we go. So we're gonna get back. Where was we at? This woman here, we were off of this. So she went on to say,
Yeah,
I want to replay this real quick because make sure this didn't go over our head. But yeah, she said
she's so nonchalant.
And you're not just trying to distance yourself, right?
Distance myself from what?
Right, well, you didn't want anyone to know that you were communicating with them because you didn't want to get in trouble.
Get in trouble for what?
Well, you could have been in trouble for setting this whole thing up and setting this in motion. Weren't you concerned?
Setting what up? Your client shot 84 rounds. There was no shots back. What did I set up?
Well, you sent somebody to go shoot him, didn't you?
Did he get shot?
You sent somebody to shoot him, did you not?
Did he get shot?
All right, Ms. Jones, you had to answer the questions, not ask them. All right, next question.
Here you go. This lady is wild, and look at her. Look at her.
She could not care less. She couldn't care less. And I'm gonna keep saying that because a lot of y'all say I could care less, y'all defeating the purpose. She couldn't, she has not the ability to care any more than she's currently caring. And that's not worth a damn. She don't care. She's like, guilty of what? Set up what? Did he get deleted though? He shot 84 rounds. What we do? Sick. This is sick. This is a raging, non-God-fearing narcissist. She don't care. She probably gonna play with her roles to the idea of this brother being convicted, and that is sick.
And there we go. Shout out to Rebecca. Says she's extremely nonchalant. Wasn't this her brother that got deleted? Not sure. That's the good question. I'm not sure if her brother got deleted or not. Potentially. The way she acted, I'm gonna say no.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume like you guys no, because she can't give a F. I don't care. I'm trying to tell y'all, she got a Spirit flight in 2.5 hours. All right, she's going to Miami. It's hot girl summer. What y'all talking
like
about?
You said, and shout out to Sweet Life says she never answered. No, she just became combative and deflected.
Yes, and then the judge gonna say next question. She never answered the question. Kudos to her. She working it. Part of our legal system is knowing what to say, how to say it. It's sick. It is sick. It ain't what you did, it's what they can prove. And this gonna show it.